So we know that the Nets aren't doing too hot. They're showing some promise as far as the next year's championship is concerned.
Uh-huh.
But let's talk about how the Raptors aren't doing too hot either.
The Raptors,
obviously they're 3 games up, but they don't look like themselves.
What do you feel like they're lacking?
I would say that they're lacking, other than Kyle Lowry, just like a strong points per game player.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because I was kind of, as I was watching, I felt like Pascal's looking kind of shaky as a number 1 option.
Mm-hmm.
He's more like a good mismatch player.
Mismatch?
Yeah. I feel like he's perfect. He's perfect for being like second, third option because he's always going to have a mismatch, right? But it's not necessarily that he's like the best overall skills player on the court.
But he does have that promise, right?
Well, I think he's very skillful for his position, which is great. But like being a good dribbler for, let's say, center doesn't necessarily make you a good dribbler in the NBA. It just makes you a better dribbler than other centers. So you're able to get past centers who are defending you because they have like kind of not like, they don't have perimeter defense as good as guards and forwards. Mm-hmm. So for that reason, he scores very well on mismatches with his opponent. But like if you get a forward, like let's say a Giannis guarding Pascal or someone like equal length to him, it kind of throws him off because he's not used to someone being able to shuffle their feet as fast as he can move as a center. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why Pascal isn't necessarily going to be a number 1 option in the future. I think he's a great number 2. I think Kyle Lowry is kind of holding it down. He's doing well scoring. Yeah. Fred VanVleet is another guy who's like an auxiliary guy who I think is helping a lot because he always makes a smart play. He always plays great.
Yeah, Fred VanVleet is one of my favorite players. And I hate when people talk about free agency, but there's no way he's leaving Toronto, dude.
Well, money.
Money? But you don't think Toronto will pay him?
No, I think Toronto would pay him.
Yeah.
But they might not want to pay top dollar. And I feel like, honestly, I would pay top dollar. Maybe not a max contract, but I'd pay up there. I think he's proved that he's solid in the clutch.
Yeah.
He's never scared, which is honestly, I think the best trait. Because like if you keep your composure in the finals, you're always going to have your composure. And I don't think he's a guy that had beginnings that were so big to where like him having success would make him complacent.
Yeah.
To the point where he's like, yeah, I'm just me, so I'm not gonna care if this shot goes in, even though I know I'm great and I play great. Like I feel like it still burns him to show everybody. Like maybe not even necessarily to show everybody, but he just is never fully satisfied, and I feel like you could tell that by how he plays and how he always makes the right play.
Yeah. What about Paul Gasol? Marc Gasol, dude.
Right. I feel bad for Marc.
Why is that?
Because Marc Gasol was an amazing player on the Grizzlies, but I feel like he's kind of hit that point where he realizes he can't play defense. He can't really score. He can't really move well. He can't really rebound that well because he can't move that well. So like he's trying to do things to make him seem like he's still like a top level skill player by like trying to look as clever as he can when passing the ball. Like I've been there where we're not as good as we used to be.
Yeah.
And so we're just like, oh, this is a thing I could kind of like show that I still kind of got my skill. So I'll do like unnecessary no look passes when it's like just a simple chest pass or something. But he's a smart player, so he's gonna keep playing. He's gonna be able to shoot threes, so that's big. But
do you think he's like the only one that kind of suffered like a slump after winning a championship? Because he's not making threes as much as he used to last year.
I don't know, because I think Lowry's playing great. Fred VanVleet's playing great. Norman Powell's looked solid. I like Norman Powell a lot because like he's a good energy guy, and like he moves his feet on defense. Yeah. He always sits down when he plays defense, which is great because it shows that like he's always trying to put forth the energy.
Yeah.
Like he can shoot the three pretty well sometimes. Like I believe in the last game, he had a good shooting night. He was 50% from three, with a couple rebounds, like 1 or 2 assists, which is
steals, right? Didn't he have any steals?
Yeah, Norman Powell. Last game he did not have steals and blocks, but I don't even necessarily think that's always a measure of playing great defense.
Yeah, I think him and OG and Anunoby are pretty strong defensive players.
Oh, for sure. I like Anunoby a lot too because like he's very efficient, and he's another guy that, and this might just be like a lot of Raptors players where he never makes the wrong moves. Really, he plays his role.
Very calculated.
Yeah, he's smart.
Yeah,
and I don't say that in a way where it's just like, oh, he plays his role, so he's smart. He, like, if a defender leaves his man, he'll rotate and he'll help defend, and he won't leave his teammates out to look like they missed an assignment.
Yeah,
you know. So and I think that's big for any defense, is to have guys like that plug holes when a hole comes.
Yeah, kind of like what we were saying about Paul George, just playing your role.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming in when you need to.
Yeah, Paul
George isn't on the Nets.
Yeah, Paul.
Okay, let me see.
Dude, sadly, Joe Harris left.
He left the bubble?
Yeah, something happened. It was like a personal problem, which I think is big for the Nets because,
yeah,
you know, he was their best shooter. He was very capable of finishing inside. It was shocking to me, but it seems like it's some personal.
Is there any way you can look up what it is really quick?
Yeah.
I like Joe Harris, dude. Joe Harris, wasn't he in the 3-point competition this year and got out like the first round of it?
I'm not sure. I think he was.
You're like, I don't like the 3-point competition.
Even though Buddy Hield won it.
Sacramento Kings.
Nets Joe Harris leaves campus for non-medical personal matter. Yeah, it doesn't really highlight what it is, but yeah.
Well,
so he's out. Which is big.
Raptors in 4, dude.
Yeah,
they're sweeping this shit.
Yeah, it's looking like it. The Raptors are too solid with their team play.
Yeah.
I think the only way the Nets could win a game is if all the role players hit like 2 or 3 threes, like every single role player, and Karis LeVert has like a 30-point game. But I don't see that happening because the Raptors are too solid defensively and all around.
Yeah. Although he did have a 30-point game. I think he scored 36 on the last bubble game, the 8th game that the Nets had.
Yeah, against the Blazers.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's that for that series.
Now, we talked about this. I don't know if it was on camera or not before, but do you think them playing the Nets, which is a very broken down team right now, is going to affect their play versus either the Celtics or the Sixers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they play the Sixers, I think it's an easy go for them. But for the Celtics, them versus the Celtics, I see a lot of similarities between them and the Celtics.
I think it will be a bit of an adjustment because I think if the Celtics are rolling, they might have had a little more fine tuning during their first round playoff series against the Sixers. So I do think that the Raptors will have to adjust a little bit. I feel like they might get punched in the mouth to start the game when the Raptors play the probably Celtics in the future.